Well, good evening, race fans. We are in Japan for a second day of racing here. We just go from Fuji Speedway over to Twin Ring Motegi, and we've seen LFG Motorsports off to quite a tear lately. We saw Chadwick get it done a couple nights ago at Charlotte, and then last night we saw Noah Hobson get it done at the road course. And getting those bonus pole points, Chadwick really tearing up after nearly missing the chase. He's starting to show up here late when it matters the most. Chadwick on the pole alongside Tim Cording. Then we've got Atlee Weiss and Kyler Sestre, Jordan Walker and Brian DeBlanc. Noah Hobson gets the call again here after winning. I think he's going to get a few more opportunities after getting that win. Tyler Shangle alongside of him. Our points leader, Tom Cording and Chris Harvey. John Hagan with Guido Piano. The 20 of Gavin Gray alongside Trevor Walker. Krista Cower and Lynn Farrell. Dave Steele Jr. and Matthew Fastnot. Ant Me Person and Zach Armstrong, Philip Leeds and Cash, Jeffrey Gerald and Dalton Hayes, Adam Starr, and our second place in the point standings, Andre Stefan. Then you got Bradley Ream and James Reddick, Scott Speed and Alan Malcolm, Andrew Moger and Dalton Scott, Josh Gaiman and the 2 of Trevor Vaden, Roach and David Bird, Jack Davis and Bella Fawn, the Ross twins, Rossovich and Jack Ross, nearly at the back of the field here with our driver that made it through the sprint qualifier just to make the main event here, Cannon Gage alongside John Brinker.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
So we're right at halfway here tonight once this race finishes through our chase to the championship. And we've seen some surprises. Tonight the race will be 200 laps in distance for a grand total of 300 miles. And it seems like Chadwick is just that much harder to beat when the pressure's on. That 18 team performing well under the pressure here. Pace truck is off and they're going to get rolling here with the green flag. There we go with our top 3 drivers yet again. Chadwick, Cording, and Weiss. Coming over from the east, they still, once the field gets combined up with the west side, they're still the very hard trio to beat here. Atlee going to the lead early here on the inside of Chadwick, but Chadwick not going to let him take that lead away so easily. Atlee secures the spot for now. Chadwick falls back to second. I do believe Chadwick got a lead lap there, so he did get the bonus point for leading a lap, which can go a long ways in this championship battle, as we've seen already. He's only 35 points out from the lead. It's not going to be easy when you've got Tom Cording catching up to the front of the field. He's running in 7th right now. So he's got to capitalize on mistakes by the 90 team and earn as many points as possible. The interesting thing about Twin Ring Motegi is it's a fairly flat 1.5 mile track. Most of your mile-and-a-half tracks in America are very high banking. This feels more like if they downsized Indianapolis to a degree. And now we got a caution here early in the running. Looks like possibly Chase contender John Hagan involved in a wreck. He was running 14th. So whatever wreck happened pretty high up in the running order here. Three wide at one point. Oh. And it was a solo spinner there with Gavin Gray getting into him. Andre Stefan slows up in time, doesn't take any damage. And seems that Hagan's probably not going to get too much damage out of the ordeal either. So off to the early lead in the running here. In Motegi, it's Atlee Weiss over Kyler Sestre. Do have early pit stops going on under caution. Here's Chadwick, Walker, Cording, and the like all come down pit road. Looks like the only two that stayed out are the leaders at the front of the field. Everyone else takes this opportunity to get refresh on their truck. So that leaves Atlee and Sestre out, kind of stranded by themselves. Alrighty, back to green we are. Looks like Noah Hobson's still trying to get more front time at the field here. Chadwick gets shuffled out a little bit on the high side. He's 3 wide with Jeffrey Gerald and Tom Cording there. Hopefully gets into a good opening. He's got a whole bunch of his teammates surrounding him there. Good run on the outside. No! And they're wrecking with Chadwick involved. The whole field kind of gets bunched up there. We've seen this before with Chadwick. Even though he gets caught up in a wreck, he can still find his way back to the front. Pit strategy very unorthodox here at Twin Ring Motegi, as we've got more people staying out, more people pitting again on alternating strategies here. Keep an eye on the 18 of Chadwick. Didn't look like he got too much damage, but just in the wrong place at the wrong time. There you go. Did a little bit of repairs on it and back to a little bit cleaner on the truck. Stay on the lead lap, but now get a little bit deeper in the pack after that. Guarantee I did test this track, and out of 3 tests, we didn't have a single caution up to lap 80. So this is just, you know, it's bound to happen. The chances of them wrecking different trucks, different algorithms, put them in different places. So I know that we can get at least an 80 lap green flag run if things get sorted here. But we're going to keep dropping the pace lap count by 1 so we can get back to green flag racing as quickly as possible. Looks like Brian DeBlanc will be your new leader coming to the restart. Alrighty, here comes the restart. Everyone's on the same playing field here. Obviously, anyone can get wound up in all of the chaos and craziness that's been going on. Doesn't look like Chadwick's trucks tore up much at all after what few repairs they were able to make on it. We'll see if it can still put together some fast laps. But in the meantime, it's going to be Jordan Walker and Brian DeBlanc taking the field to green here for the restart. Jeffrey Gerald on the high side, Tim Cording on the low side behind that. Philip Leeds, Matthew Fastnot, and Guido Piano all within close range of the lead there. Oh, and we're under caution yet again. Seems like John Hagan keeps getting dumped every chance we can get going here. Oh, and that was actually the 18 of Chadwick that connected with him. Chadwick, I assume, must be trying to get some extra cautions to help move himself up through the field. That was kind of a rude move by the 18 truck there. Gets himself another quick caution here to get back maybe some more spots here when more people go down pit road for pit stop. Poor John Hagan. He is just a ping pong ball here today at the racetrack. Keeps getting bounced back and forth. Another huge alternating group of pit stop takers going to shuffle the lead up once again here. As looks like Scott Speed and Dave Steele Jr. are going to shuffle to the front. Andre Stefan as well moving through the field. And then just about everyone else coming down pit road to make some adjustments to their trucks. Lights out on the pace truck. We are about to reach our 13th consecutive lap under caution within the first 3 cautions of the race here today. The green's going to wave next time by, and it's going to be Scott Speed and Dave Steele Jr., Dalton Scott and Jack Davis, Jakov Rosevich and Lynn Farrell, followed by Andre Stefan, Andrew Moger, and even Jack Ross, Trevor Vaden to top 10. In case you're just tuning in, it's not really been an ugly wreck fest. There's been a lot of single truck spins, and very few trucks are actually retired from the race. We've only had one retirement, 32 of Belafon. Other than that, it's just we have not been able to put together consecutive green flag laps here, as they keep finding a way to spin out onesie twosies of the truck drivers. Rolling into turn one here, 3 wide for the lead. Dalton Scott down on the low side, getting a push from Rosevich. Andre Stefan moving up through the field here as well. Your title contenders have had a little bit of troubles too. The 18 of Chadwick keeps getting shuffled to the back here, running in 29th. But as long as we can get some green flag runs going here, he could find his way back up to the front. That truck doesn't look too severely damaged. And they are spinning out behind them. And I don't get the... We're going to have to do it again and settle them into single file runs, because just like the other night, I tested it and it was not doing it like this last night before the race tonight. It's just the way it rolls, I guess. But I think it also goes to show you just how hard these drivers are driving during the chase, that they want to push the envelope that hard to try and get the win here tonight. You can do all the tests you want, you can never anticipate the actual action once the green flag drops for all the marbles. So hopefully with the green flag on this next restart, we can get some racing going rather than wrecking. So now on the restart, it looks like Lynn Farrell's going to lead Tom Cording, Brian DeBlanc, Tim Cording, Dalton Hayes, Chaz Chadwick, Jeffrey Gerald, James Reddick, Kyler Sustre, and Philip Leeds to the green flag restart here. Got a lot of green windshields towards the front, so a lot of chase contenders. 8 in the top 10. The only 2 of which not in the chase, Lynn Farrell in the 77 and Dalton Hayes in the 55. Single file restart here since we can't seem to get more than 1 lap under green with the double file restarts. They're going to get side by side pretty quickly regardless. Pace truck leaving the track now. Green flag waves in air. Looks like Brian DeBlanc with a good jump there on the back of the 90 truck. Tim Cording with an even better jump getting alongside the 85. Now it's going to be the Cording brothers nose to tail for second and third. They can tag team the 77 truck all they want now as they have the momentum going their way here. Looks like we're going to stay green and hopefully get more than 1 lap of racing action underway now. Cording brothers share the top 2 spots here on lap 23. And down low, the 50 to the front now. Tim Cording has the bigger deficit to make up amongst the 2 of them. Once they get racing here, I guarantee you the action is pretty well packed here at Twin Ring Motegi. I've seen a lot of good racing in the simmed races I ran, and seems like we're going to get some green flag laps going. Looks like things are strung out and getting side by side, but calm and calculated at the same time. Chadwick falls a few more spots back here. Looks like he's stuck behind the slower traffic of the 27. And Tim Cording has about a 38-point deficit to make up to his brother Tom Cording. So he's going to need the 90 truck there to fall a lot further back if he wants to close that gap. But in the meantime, even DeBlanc there up to second. DeBlanc's just hoping to start stringing along some good finishes here to consistently work his way back up into the mix. He's only got 44 points so far to Tom Cording's 128. That puts into perspective the deficit there to the points leader. Chadwick's still struggling here on this restart. He's dropped a few more spots outside the top 10 now, running in 13th. Perhaps just trying to find his groove here. It gets harder and harder when you're stuck behind traffic that's seemingly slower than yourself. Very unpredictable it's been so far. We have not seen any standout dominance from any of our chase drivers so far. Tom Cording has had his fair share of struggles, as well as Andre Stefan and even Atlee Weiss. Must say Weiss has probably been the most steady of the chase contenders, and yet he's mired deep in the field right now, trying to work his way back up to the front. He's actually got by Andre Stefan for the time being, so that's going to help him in gaining points against his contenders. Andre Stefan in 26th, Atlee Weiss in 24th. Before long, Atlee's going to start catching up to Chadwick in the top 15 here. Looks like Chadwick's got some clear spaces to work with here. He can get to the low side and start working his way around the traffic in front of him. Gets by the 55, which seemingly was giving him fits as he got stuck behind him earlier. Now with some clear room to make passes, Chadwick back up to 13th here. The high side seems to be the sucker hole here. DeBlanc also now stuck on that high side, losing spots. 3 wide with a pair of LFG Motorsports trucks. As long as it doesn't end in a wreck, we should be good. He can get back down low here and start fighting back towards the front. See a lot of ebb and flow to the running order here at Motegi. Chadwick might be in 13th right now, but there's enough movement in front of him that I feel like he's going to be able to gain some more spots pretty quickly here. Krista Cower gets stuck up high here. Chadwick down low. Chadwick with a move to the inside. The momentum he's going to carry on the low side puts him in front of the 98. So one at a time, picking him off piece by piece. Now up to 12th in that Martini Honda Ridgeline. Doesn't get any easier when the fact of the matter is Tom Cording still running way up front in the field here. Trevor Walker really making a bold move, coming from 5th up to 2nd in that lap. Huge mover there. Just turned a 35.451, and that's good for 3rd fastest on the track so far. So Tim Cording better look out. He's got a bunch of fast trucks behind him looking to take the lead away. Good run from Chris Harvey so far up into the top 5. Harvey has had a really rough start. He's only accrued 35 points here in the chase. So he's almost 100 points out of the lead. And basically is spotted about 2 full races to catch up to Tom Cording in the points lead. The whole field's hoping that Tom Cording makes a mistake today and gives up a bunch of positions for these other contenders that need it the most. I thought that there was only room for 1 mulligan. It seems that even with the 1 mulligan, Tom Cording could potentially get away with 2 mulligans in this chase, because he had so many the wins and the regular season championship that gave him a huge boost in the chase standing. Might have a fight for the lead here as Chris Harvey is closed up on the 50. LFG Motorsports is the hottest team right now in the USA Truck Series, having won 5 of the last 6 races contested. And that even stretches back to when we were running the East and the West races. They won 3 straight from East, West, East. Or rather, West, east-west. And then coming into the chase, they've won 2 of the last 3. Ricky Raceway was the only track they had not been able to secure the win in these last 6 races, where Gavin Gray was able to bring it home in first place. The amazing part on that too is out of those 5 races, it was 4 different drivers that piloted to victory lane. You had Chris Harvey in one of them, Ewan What Army in another one, Chadwick came home with 2 wins, and Noah Hobson came home with the win last night. Chris Harvey right now catching up to that 50 truck, keeping LFG Motorsports very much in the talks here today to get a good finish. Turnaround here from Trevor Walker, who's struggled, up to the top 5 right now. You just look through the field and LFG Motorsports is everywhere. We've got the 16 of Jeffrey Gerald there in the top 10. Chadwick closing in on getting 10th place. Let's go skim back to the back and see how our other title contenders are doing. Actually, before we do that, let's see if there's anyone that's too slow. Cash is, yeah, 2 seconds off the pace. We'll disqualify the number 07. That way they don't get caught up. Sadly, the 14 of Adam Starr is going to be just as bad. These guys are a full second faster, nearly 2 seconds. And then we have the 62, 96, and 00, which all have damage, but clearly had faster trucks prior to the damage. So we'll let them roll with it for now. Hagen still fighting for every point he can get. Might have had a change at the lead, I don't know, as we're going through. Andre Stefan currently running 22nd. Atlee Weiss has recovered from pit stops. Is about 35th, all the way up to 19th so far. Jordan Walker in front of him in 17th. Krista Cower there in the top 15. Jeffrey Gerald shuffles back to 12th. Chadwick now up to 9th. And back to the front of the field here, where the lead still belongs to the 50 of Tim Cording. There we go. Here's a pass for the lead as Chris Harvey goes way low here. Secures the spot for now. Tim Cording, he closes the door on Tim Cording. So Harvey takes the lead with aggression there. And now we've got a new leader here. Oh, but now we're going to have some back and forth as Tim Cording wants to take the lead back. He ain't going to play nice here as he kind of pulls the same trick there on the 12, closing the door a little bit early. No one's wanting to give any inches here as they keep fighting for each position, each point on track. Brian DeBlanc tried to get inside and kind of got cut off there by the 12. Now you got 4 trucks all tightening up here like a rubber band. Since our initial onslaught of cautions, we are about 20 laps strong on a green flag run. Ooh, Atlee making some big moves. He's really close to the top 10 now. Atlee's got his sight set on catching up to the front of the field here in a rapid succession. In just one lap there, Atlee goes from 15th to about 12th. And he's not done there. As he's got the fresher tires, it's no surprise seeing him work his way through the field like this. Him and Jordan Walker both had pitted on that last caution, giving him fresher tires on this long run that they've been given. Guido Piano goes low there. Chadwick's going to be able to take advantage of the draft train there with the 10 and the 19. Chadwick will have to make the pass here on his teammate Gerald. There we go. And this is Chadwick's best shot at getting through the field, having the help of the 10 and the 19 behind him. But I don't think they're going to stay there. They're going to try to get by him as quickly as possible. They got the fresher tires, and they're going to work their way up through the mess here quicker than the 18 truck. In the meantime, at the front of the field, still Tim Cording leading Chris Harvey and Brian DeBlanc. Tom Cording fighting for fourth there with Trevor Walker, and then Kyler Sestre just in a distant sixth. Trevor Walker going low on his fellow Texas neighbor there in the 85. And Trevor Walker now up to P3. DeBlanc falls back to sixth here. Side by side with Sestre. Sestre is going to have the advantage of that inside line. And there you have... Oh, they're going to run a little bit high on the outside. Try to fight back, but I think Sestre is going to settle into fifth there. Our lead pack better look out for Atlee and Jordan Walker as they are on a mission to get to the front. Chadwick seems like he's somewhat stuck in the top 15 position, which all in all is not a terrible place to be, at least if he can, maintain and keep, a good finish here today. He'd still be alive in the chase to fight for the championship for the second half with only 4 races left. He doesn't want to lose too many more points to Tom Cording, who's way up front right now. And there's still a lot of racing left. We could see Tom Cording fall out of this one. He does have the help of his teammate side with him. Dave Steele Jr. now up into the top 10. Oofty. Yeah, DeBlanc is now the target for Jordan Walker. as we're going to have at least another group of trucks joining the fold at the front of the field before long. Dynamic trio there running nose to tail. Chadwick's faltered here back to 17th, it looks like. So the tires have really kind of become a factor here with the drivers in front of him likely on fresher tires moving past him. It's crazy that they're even running almost identical laps to Brian DeBlanc, which really ain't allowing them to close the gap. DeBlanc turns a 36.0, which is a solid lap, just not in the 35s like the rest of them in front. Oh, and there we go. Jordan Walker turns a 35.8. So that's going to close that deficit a little bit more. For whatever reason, Tim Cording just does not have quite the tire fall off as the other trucks do. He's continued to put together solid 35.9s at the front of the field. The ebb and flow of Chadwick is kind of entertaining to watch. It seems like he'll lose some momentum, and then once things kind of get single file, he'll pick them off one by one. A very calculated, a veteran kind of race for that 18 team. He's, only making the risks he can see paying off, not trying to go too hard and push the envelope here, just kind of keeping his P's and Q's and running his race as it comes to him. Atlee gets by the 10 of Jordan Walker. Both Walker brothers within the top 10. As Trevor Walker fighting side by side with Chris Harvey. Oh, and then the battle between these two continue as Jordan Walker gets back by Atlee. These two fighting for 7th and 8th. Then you got last night's winner Noah Hobson in the top 10. Jeffrey Gerald in 10th. Dave Steele Jr. in 11th. Chadwick falls back to 16th. Where is Andre Stefan mid-pack and 21st? So the pressure is really on for that 56 team to perform well. and it seems like he's putting in, you know, as much as he can give that truck, but struggling to keep up with the top runners here tonight. Trevor Walker finally in second with his sights set on Tim Cording. Kind of funny that it took this long for us to see the dominant performance from Tim Cording in the chase. We saw glimpses of success only to get tore away from him with crazy wrecks and unexpected mishaps to come his way. Lap traffic now becoming a factor here on lap 65. David Bird, James Reddick, and Jack Ross. We'll see how they fare working their way through the traffic here. 50 of Tim Cording has been leading pretty steadily here the whole time. Good move on the inside, gonna make it by one truck. Chris Harvey gonna try to use the lap trucks as a pick to put the 21 truck behind him. Harvey up to second. Full steam ahead. He's gonna have to split the difference here, as there's no opening for him to make the pass on the 96 truck. What this should allow for is even, the 86 gets passed up by Jordan Walker, Atlee Weiss, and now Noah Hobson. Chadwick's hoping that pit stops start to come their way so he can get some fresh tires and try to fight back, possibly even a caution to get on the same pit strategy as everyone else. Jordan Walker still hasn't closed the gap significantly up to the top 5 yet. But our top 5 make it through lap traffic without any chaos striking. Tom Cording now moving his way up to third. There's a pass for third as Kyler Sestre works his way up to third. And then the other cording still under attack by Chris Harvey. Harvey has proven he can get by the 50, but maintaining that lead position has been hard for anyone other than Tim Cording. Looks like even Trevor Walker might be able to make the move here on the 90 truck. Really close on that back bumper. Oh, Trevor had to let off the gas there as to not get into the 90 truck. Didn't seem to mess up his momentum though, as he's still going to get alongside the 90. And there goes Trevor Walker up a spot. And Trevor Walker making up another spot to get up to third here. It almost seems like the draft is legit here. Like they actually have drafting here at the mile-and-a-half track. As you notice, the 85 of Brian DeBlanc seems to be putting together better laps now that he's caught up with some more trucks in his area. When he lost the lead pack, he fell like a rock, but has not let this group get away from him. So apparently they actually have to rely on the draft here partially. And with the lead, it looks like things are getting strung out here. They're getting spread out. More lap traffic in the way for Tim Cording. This could give Chris Harvey another opportunity to try and steal the lead away. '20 of Gavin Gray goes lap down here. And in this long run here, Tom Cording trajectory for the 90 truck seems to be going in the backwards direction. The drivers behind him turning quicker laps than him. Atlee turned a 36.2. Match that up with Tom Cording, who seems like the draft has been lost with that 90 truck. So Tom Cording might start to fall victim to losing more positions, which will be huge for everyone else involved in the chase to try and get those precious chase points locked up. We're just shy of halfway, about 20 laps short from it. Who knew that 200 miles or 200 laps around here would be about 2 hours in length? It's only a mile-and-a-half track, but pair that up with the flat banking, these trucks don't get much faster than 160 miles an hour, and they drop as low as 140 through the turns. And now we got our first round of green flag pit stops here. Tim Courting, Harvey, and Tom Courting, everyone making their way down pit road. Tim Courting already rolling off pit road. Was that just a gas and go for the 50? Wow, he buzzed through pit road quickly. Unless he came a lap sooner than these guys. That's what must have happened. Everyone else must have stayed out one lap longer. Takes 4 tires and some gas. So the 50, oh, and the 50's having to come back down pit road. So maybe there's something wrong with the truck. Things are looking a little bit chaotic at the front of the field. Things should shuffle back around to Chris Harvey being the leader here. Atlee Weiss up to second. We still have a lot of drivers that haven't pitted. Wow, how did the 12 lose? Actually, Atlee Weiss is your leader right now. Yeah, we got some people that have some significant troubles with their trucks here. Chadwick 26th, 1 lap down. Whole slew of trucks are just coming down repeatedly here. Might have to DQ some of them, so we'll go ahead and DQ number 62, who's 3 laps down. 78, who's 3 laps down. Number 20. And DQ number 8. I'm just not getting why we're seeing so many races with fuel problems lately. This happened last night when we tried to run a race at the road course, and turns into a revolving door of everyone just coming down pit road. This is just wonderful. Everyone keeps getting affected by it equally, unfairly, of course. The 18 is now back on the lead lap with all the pandemonium and chaos that's going down. Chadwick, one of the few that is not getting strict by the pit road bug. He last came down pit road on lap 80, it looks like. So lap 80. '15 rejoins the track. LFG Motorsports was leading. And it's going to cycle around to the 90 truck being your new leader here. And not quite. Chris Harvey's in the lead, actually. Chris Harvey holds the lead. Cool. Kind of recycles back to where everyone was running prior to the pit road glitch. Most of your drivers back on the lead lap, running in about the position they were, with quite the, I guess, you know, the gaps are a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. And the only one that did not reshuffle back to the front was the 50 of Tim Cording, who got the worst of the pit road bug. So Harvey leads, Tom Cording in second, Kyler Sestre in third, Atlee Weiss now up to fourth, Brian DeBlanc in fifth, Lynn Farrell in sixth, Jordan Walker in seventh, Noah Hobson in eighth, Chaz Chadwick in ninth, Ant Meperson in 10th. So we'll still have to see that whole thing play out once again around lap 160 if they stay green the entire way. It's impressive that we didn't have a caution during that transition of wild pit stops that was going down. And so there we go. Chris Harvey, your leader by a substantial margin. Yeah, for the most part, it just kind of threw us a curveball towards midway in the race here. Kind of like you hit the shuffle button on your playlist. Impressive run from Chris Harvey. Even with the glitches and everything, it has not slowed down his pace. Tim Cording was leading this whole time in front of him. See, the nice part, this track lends itself to some very, you know, good racing to the point where it's like on the edge of out of control, which is what I prefer to see for a race. Because you don't want to just watch, you know, carbon copy, robot, copy paste, repeat robots racing. You want to see a little bit of character, a little bit of flair. And that's kind of what we've seen here today, apart from the glitch that reared its ugly head there for a moment. Even with the glitch, things have kind of got back to normal. We have 19 trucks on the lead lap, still 30 trucks left running. Those that got DQ'd were not very much in the mix. Most of them had damage on their vehicle, so it was able to hit the cleanup button there. I don't see anyone of substantial chase contention. The 07 of Cash is in the chase. The 62, sadly. James Reddick out of the race now, too. But between those two, that's about all for your chase contenders that have been knocked out already. That and the 4 of Zach Armstrong, who had a strong regular season, but chase is a whole different story for that team. 5 laps short of halfway. Fastest lap still belongs to Jordan Walker, who turned a 35.4 earlier in the race here. He himself has settled into the top 10 in the running order. Running 7th on track. Andre Stefan has whittled his way up to a 13th place position. Crazy as ever. Jordan Walker making a move up to 6th here. Now setting his targets on that 77 truck for the top 5. The only thing here tonight that's keeping things from getting really off the rails is the fact that Tom Cording's still sitting in 2nd, looking at nearly a top points day for the 90 truck as our points leader. So this could almost eliminate any gains here tonight within the points battle. But if we do make it closer to the end and there's deficits larger than 5 to 10 seconds from the lead, we will throw a competition caution to let them all race it out. And we'll even turn double file restarts back on since we are down to 30 trucks. We would probably knock out any lap down traffic that's likely to cause pandemonium. So yeah, just stay tuned. Chris Harvey enjoying the lead right now, securing plenty of lead laps here, hoping to get the lead most bonus award here tonight. Was looking like Tim Cording was going to secure that, but now the 12 truck pretty steadily holding that lead over the rest of the field. 50 of Tim Cording still running in the top 20 and 17th right now. And part of me wonders too if the AI were trying to double pit there and to try to stretch it all the way to the finish perhaps. What they didn't anticipate though is green-white checkered finishes could potentially become a scenario that they didn't plan for. Still 96 laps is going to be a lot to go on one run. They would have had to go 120 on this run without pitting, which I don't see that coming together. So everyone's going to have to pit at least one more time. Haven't seen a lot for mechanical failures yet here today at Twin Ring Motegi. The gap definitely shrinking though. Chris Harvey is going to have to play defense here soon as Tom Cording closing that gap. Majority of the field actually slowly working their way back to the front. Tom Cording still has to make it around some lap traffic there, which won't be particularly easy. We'll keep an eye on him and see how he does. Kyler Sestre putting together a solid run for the title sponsor of today's race with Sony on the truck here in the Sony Technologies 300. Just a few spots shy of first place on track, third place on field. Gonna have to find a way around ever so hard to pass Tom Cording there. This has been an impressive run for Chris Harvey, holding that lead as long as he has. We'll compare lap times this time around. A 36.09 to Tom Cording's 35.8. So Cording really closing the gap. Here we go. It looks like Chris Harvey's running on borrowed time right now as that 90 truck really catching up to him. Jeffrey Gerald trying to help his teammate out there, keeping the 90 up high. That's a good teammate right there with Jeffrey Gerald, keeping that 90 truck from making up the momentum that he needed. That slows up Tom Cording significantly, putting him down to a 36.0 and getting him shuffled back behind the other two trucks. Problem is, though, Jeffrey Gerald with the faster truck, he ain't going to be able to hold up here. He's going to try to play nice with the teammate. Oh, and almost to a fault there. He gets 3 wide on the inside. And that could be a wreck waiting to happen with the 22 right there in the... Wow. Gerald just didn't want to mix things up with the teammate there. He had nothing that he could do about holding back the hard-charging 22 of Dave Steele Jr. And now Tom Cording is going to settle into the lead now. Harvey still giving it hell on the outside. But there you go. Tom Cording is going to secure a lead lap here today. Get the also important bonus point for leading a lap. Chadwick up to 8th. Just like that, Harvey looks like he's going to fall back to about 3rd here. Doesn't get much easier for Tom Cording as he's going to have more lap traffic keeping him busy here. That's impressive. Atlee has really closed the gap up to the front of the field here. As you can see, the green car towards the front of that pack, that blue car of Atlee Weiss, making it really close up to the front of the field now. So 4 trucks within a shot at getting towards the lead. Atlee stands to gain the most points here today as he sits 3rd to Tom Cording. There's Atlee now in the mix, getting behind the 88 of John Hagan. The lap traffic there. He's going to use up that 88, as you can see, running right into the back bumper of the 88. Closes up and gets by him. And now Atlee, wow, the lap traffic fighting Tom Cording here. Or is that for position? That's for position, as we've got Chris Harvey back to the lead here. Impressive run from Harvey. Didn't expect him to have the momentum back on his side there to get back by Tom Cording. Atlee Weiss up to third now. Atlee's definitely got the faster truck. You can tell he's getting right on the back bumper of the lap trucks and giving them a hard time. Impressive run from Chris Harvey so far. Atlee knocks off another truck there. Now going to fight with Jeffrey Gerald. Tom Cording and Harvey side by side for the lead. Cording gets the lead back here, but the two of them racing that hard is only going to allow Atlee Weiss to get even closer to them. Wow, Atlee is really roughing up the lap traffic there. Double check that and see. Watch him just roughhouse that 16 truck there, making it look easy. 19 on a tear. He's going to get the 12 for position, up to second here. This could be dangerous. If Atlee gets to the lead, there might not be any looking back. Just like that, he gets by Tom Cording to take the lead here. And what looked like a non-factor for a battle at the front of the field has now materialized into a 3-truck fight for the win with just 75 laps to go. More green flag pit stops likely to come, but I'm thinking what we'll do, since we know they can make it 60 laps on a run, might throw the competition caution around 140. That way we can almost guarantee that we can get that bug behind us and they can race all the way to the finish with just one more pit stop. We will still have 18 trucks on the lead lap. We can do the wave around to get a few more on the lead lap. We all know that's how the 18 came out on top at Charlotte with green flag, well, a late race caution to reset it all. The stakes almost exactly the same here today, as he's running 10th with a top 10 place truck, and maybe, just maybe, he could do it again here tonight. Gonna double check to make sure when the last pit stop was for Atlee. Okay, so 85 from the initial set of cautions is from 20 on, and it's about 65 laps, so 85 plus 65 would equal 150. We'll err on the side of caution and throw the caution at 145. Impressive as Atlee took the lead. He's really not getting away. Harvey right there in the midst of it. Tom Cording still really close by. We actually seen Tom Cording and Chris Harvey swap the position for second there a couple times, and Atlee still holding the lead. It's going to make an interesting bid for who's going to have led most laps here today. Tim Cording had a good chunk of it. Chris Harvey has a good chunk of it, and now Atlee Weiss trying to add on to it with his own chunk of lead laps. Seems that pit stops are starting to happen here pretty early. We still have 18 trucks on the lead lap, so we'll keep an eye on that and plan the competition caution accordingly. Good run from Chris Harvey again, trying to catch up to the 19. And that'll be close enough to give us our competition caution. We know that they can go about 60 to 65 laps on a window. So this will put them at that 60 lap window. We'll see. Chadwick looks like he's going to rejoin in about the top 10 where he was running. So this restart, oh, Tim Cording's going to get back to the front of the field on a rotation of strategies here. Did he come down pit road? What did he do differently? How did he make it from 12th? Just a gas and go. I don't know if that's going to be good enough, though, because chances are that truck's going to make another trip down pit road. We've seen it struggle today with multiple pit stops, so we'll see if that may be a missed call on the 50 truck. But back to the lead for now, as he's going to be leading over Trevor Walker, Atlee Weiss, Chris Harvey, Tom Cording, Jordan Walker, Brian DeBlank, Ant Meeperson, Chaz Chadwick, Noah Hobson, and Kyler Sustre. So this might spell chaos again for us. We'll see how the double file restart shakes up here with 60 laps to go. Everyone that pitted should be good to go without making any more pit stops, but we will see if that actually pans out or not. They should be getting doubled up here for the restart. There we go. Tim Cording back to the lead. Pace truck pulls off for the restart here. And the green flag waves. We're back in racing. It could be a mad dash to the finish. Every double file restart so far this evening has been chaotic and ends in disaster for most. 3 wide in the mid pack. We'll have to keep an eye on this because this could be the trouble zone. Right there, 3 wide. Chadwick in the middle of a 3 wide scuffle there. 85. Ooh, they close up, but looks like they're going to stay going in the forward direction here. Don't know how. It's crazy. They're just 3 wide all throughout the field there. Chadwick with a little bit more clean air in front of him. Atlee Weiss in the lead as Tim Cording has to make his pit stop again. So Atlee first, Sustre second, Tom Cording third. Andre Stefan up into the top 5, comes from 12th into 5th. Matter of just a couple laps there. Chadwick still struggling in this pack. Once they get racing, he needs them to get strung out so that he can kind of get back into his groove. This seems to be the trouble. Each restart that we have double file restarts for him. On the 2 of Trevor Vaden's going to help him significantly there, holding up the inside line, giving him an opportunity to drive away. Lap traffic, keeping it clean. Just barely keeping it clean there. Chadwick settles into 9th. Andre Stefan in 5th. Tom Cording in 2nd. So pretty crazy restart we had there. Everyone's kind of back in the fold. Ooh, Trevor Walker having to pit here on lap 145. That's going to give Chadwick another spot. Tim Cording's day goes from bad to worse as he rejoins the track, seemingly out of gas here. Oh, here we go. The 2 of Trevor Vaden gets spun out here. Lap traffic that was giving the leaders fits. Wow. Chris Harvey was in the midst of that. Looks like he's going to survive the wreck. Unfortunately, mired back in 17th for now. And so now we get some more cautions to kind of stack the field back up. Well, that's not good. The truck stalled on track, and the 19 of Atlee reacted to it and bunched everyone up, sending Atlee way back. Everyone's kind of confused as to how to run this right now. As long as, yeah, that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. Dang it. Well, NR 2003 doing NR 2003 things there. Atlee continues on with what looks to be minimal damage on the 19 truck. No caution. Everyone's still racing like it's the last lap of the race here, and we only have 50 laps to go still. Oh, the 24 running out of gas there maybe? That seemed very odd. Everything's still staying green here so far. In the midst of all this chaos, Guido Piano leads the way. Tom Cording in second. Chaz Chadwick has now slotted his way up to fourth. We'll see if Atlee can recover from this. We've seen him recover from further back in the field here today. It didn't seem like that truck's getting up to as near much speed as he was. Well, Atlee put together a 36.2, which is still fast enough to put him up back into the top 5 here if he's careful and lucky. 9 of Malcolm is going to be disqualified because he is just a sitting roadblock. Well, it's been a crazy race. More trucks running out of gas here on the track. My goodness gracious. Even in the midst of all this, we still have a race that's breaking out here, and by golly, is it going to be another controversial race here in the USA Trucks? It seems like we cannot get away from the insanity that is the chase this season. 22 definitely gonna make his way back around here, but that's gonna be the end of the day for the 22 team. And there's the yellow flag waving, so well, Guido Piano drops back to fourth here as Tom Cording with the lead. Kyler Sestre had nowhere to go there. He's been making revolving doors, so we will DQ the number 24 as well. Man, Atlee has just run into all the trucks that have run out of gas. From the lead, the 16 truck had run out of gas, and then the 22 on pit road. So now we're going to do another roundup here. As you can see, many of the trucks got hit with the no fuel bug here because they have not been able to receive fuel on their pit stops. So the 50 of Tim Cording, the 21 of Trevor Walker, the 88 of John Hagan, and the 74 of Andrew Moger. Sorry to Jeffrey Gerald, but we will have to send him packing today. So we've got another restart on the horizon here. Tom Cording, our points leader, leading the race here today. Chadwick and Harvey just a couple spots behind him. Could keep this LFG Motorsports party rolling. Chadwick with yet another stellar run here today, getting tangled up in some wrecks and truly, muscling his way back to a good finishing position here in the closing laps. See, I tried to at least throw some cautions so that this race could not be affected by the pit road bug, but it's kind of the trucks that weren't getting any gas are finally running out of gas, and I just don't know what else I could have done differently there. So at least we're down to 18 trucks on the lead lap, 19 trucks left running. And it's really anyone's game at the front of the field here. Chadwick's chance is looking even better in the closing laps than it has all day. Of course, Tom Cording still stinking up the show, trying to secure as many points as he can to keep the points lead away from anyone else. But you still got Chadwick, you still got Andre Stefan, you still have Atlee Weiss, your top four in the points as they run, basically. And then Chadwick's got his teammate here, Chris Harvey, giving him a good push into the first turn. Chadwick going to use that momentum, carrying on the inside of the 90 truck. Here comes Chadwick to the lead. It's an LFG Motorsports choo-choo train with good push from his teammate in the 12. Don't even forget about Brian DeBlank there. DeBlank still in the mix here today, giving a push behind Harvey. Chadwick to the point. So right now, Chadwick hoping that Harvey plays nice here. Bossman needs a championship, but Harvey's saying, no sirree, I want to get some points and meet you up at the top of the point standings this season. They both are in the chase, so Chadwick with a little bit of infighting there with his teammate. Slots back to third here as DeBlank gets up to second. Tom Cording's still struggling on that outside. Looks like he's going to lose some more spots. Brian DeBlank to the lead. Matthew Fastnot in the mix here as well. Three wide for second place as Tom Cording goes way down low. Things starting to look a little bit chaotic at the front of the field here as Tom Cording dives it in low. We've seen this battle before, the 09 and the 90 duking it out for the win. Tom Cording alongside Matthew Fastnot takes the lead here on lap 165. We have 35 laps to go. Impressive turnaround for Jordan Walker getting back into the mix. But Chadwick looks like he's going to pull a twofer here and get back up to second. Yet again with a push from Chris Harvey. Harvey going down low though, leaving the boss man up high to dry. Apart from the shortcomings that this track has provided us with today, once they get to racing, the racing is pretty much top notch, but man, it could have been a way different race here today had it not been as glitchy crazy as it's been. Atlee Weiss working his way back through the field yet again. It seems to be the hard charger award for Atlee, even though he might not get the hard charger award based on his qualifying position. 19 truck has made more passes than anyone else on track here today. Chadwick with the momentum now on the inside of the 12. Andre Stefan, your driver, second in the points. It's not looking like a good day to gain points on your top point standings. Chadwick needs to get the win here to knock Tom Cording out of max points territory. It's impressive, even with the damage that truck has sustained today, that it's competitive and running down the leader here in the closing laps. Guido Piano making a move here. Guido Piano might have the momentum to catch up to Tom Cording. Chadwick giving it some gas on the outside. Andre Stefan dropping back now. That's going to help in the points battle. Chadwick in fourth. And do remember, Chadwick, I believe, had your pole today, so he'll get the bonus points for pole position, which, if he finishes second, could pretty much make it a draw if Tom Cording won today. Here comes Guido Piano to the front. You got two West Coast drivers in the top three. Actually, scratch that. The 87, I believe. Nope, the 87 is an East Coast driver. Atlee getting back up into the top 10 here with some significant damage on that 19 truck. Andre Stefan slots his way back into 12th. But the main battle right here at the front, Tom Cording holding off a rather hard-charging Guido Piano. And then a pair of LFG Motorsports Honda Ridgelines right behind them. There we go, and a move for the lead here as the 87 dips low. That puts the 90 in the high side. There we go. And that helps a little bit. If Guido Piano takes the win here today, that's going to allow the chase drivers to sort it out on their own here amongst themselves, as Guido Piano not a chase contender. Chris Harvey up to second now. Gonna help momentum there on the 10 truck of Walker is going to get him alongside the 90 truck. Oh, maybe not. 90 gets alongside the 12 now, and passover attempt to get back up to second. There's a whole bunch of LFG Motorsports trucks here in the top 10, as you've got Noah Hobson in 7th, Chadwick in 5th, and now 4th of Chris Harvey. .25 laps to go. Tom Cording taking the lead back with a good draft push from the 10 truck. 10 truck, though, gets an opening and isn't able to capitalize. 90 settles in with the lead. Guido Piano dropping like a rock now on that high side. Now we got a little different mix at the front, as Jordan Walker now up to second, closing the gap on Tom Cording. Going to be 24 laps to go this time by. It's really anyone's game here in the top 6. Four chasers have really shuffled their way up to the front. There we go. Pass being made for the lead. Jordan Walker alongside Tom Cording. Just hanging out in the background, though, you see the 12. Chris Harvey waiting for his opportunity to get back to the lead. LFG Motorsports now running 3, 4, and 5. Laps are really dwindling down here as we only have 20 to go now. Tom Cording not letting the lead get away from him. It's It's really going to come down to a last lap move for the win here today, folks. Harvey on the inside of the 10. And LFG Motorsports, this is what they're trying to do to perfection. They want to get all three of their trucks up right behind the 90 of Tom Cording. And it looks like their opportunity is about to come. As soon as they can get alongside the 90, they will just freight train around him. And LFG Motorsports could be looking at a potential 1-2-3 finish here tonight. Now's the time to execute. Harvey needs to close up on that 90 truck. Looks like they've kind of destabilized it here a little bit. Chadwick wants to get back to the back bumper of that 90 and fight for the win here today. He gets alongside his teammate in the 12. Definitely destabilized as Guido Piano gets by Noah Hobson for the 4th position. Chadwick and Harvey 2nd and 3rd. Guido Piano now going to take 3rd away, it looks like. And for Chadwick to get max points here, he's going to have to get by that 90, and it's still looking hard to do. 87 to Guido Piano with a full head of steam here coming back to the front of the field. He's alongside the 18, takes that position away from him. And perhaps this might be one of the last shots for LFG Motorsports to work their way back to the front. If the 87 can get by the 90 and shake him up to the high side, someone's going to have to get inside the 90 and keep him stuck up high to make him lose as many spots. $14 laps to go this time by. Piano to the lead. Chadwick struggling to get back on the low line as the 77 of Lynn Farrell, another non-chase contender, mixing it up at the front of the field. All the non-chase contenders working their way to the front of the field in the closing laps of this one. Tom Cording stuck up high though. It looks like Cording going to lose the lead and lose many more spots behind that. Chadwick, ooh, the door closed there with the 10 truck. He's not going to get by the 10 truck. This is going to spell trouble for Chadwick to get back in a winning position here tonight. Tom Cording does not fall very far back as he gets back on the inside line, trying to work his way back up to the front yet again. And Tom Cording back to lead here with just 11 laps to go. Piano back to the lead here. This battle at the front, not showing any signs of slowing down. Here comes Jordan Walker now. Wow, that's a great move there from the 85 of DeBlanc, making a bold charge down the inside. There goes the 10 by the 90. Now an opportunity for the 77 to get by. And here comes the LFG crew again, the 15 of Noah Hobson and the 12 of Chris Harvey right behind the 90. And then the 90 gets back low again, so this puts Tom Cording back on the mend. White flag waves. DeBlanc almost with the lead there. About to go 3 wide for the lead. Jordan Walker way down low here. Jordan Walker is going to snooker both of them. Walker to the lead. DeBlanc, though, is going to try to fight back. Looks like he's going to give it one more shot here down the backstretch. DeBlanc, yeah, he's going to get right alongside the tin truck going through the final 2 turns of the track. Jordan Walker with a full head of steam. They're going to drag race across the front stretch, and it's not going to be enough as Jordan Walker gets the win here today. Brian DeBlanc comes home second. Tom Cording third. Chris Harvey in fourth. Guido Piano fifth. Andre Stefan sixth. Noah Hobson seventh. Chadwick unfortunately falls back to 11th there. Atlee with a 15th. So crazy race. I don't have anything else to say other than that, because seems like even with the testing, the racing's good, but the track is a little bit at fault. So might see a widespread change for the final 4 races before the next 4 races come up. So we'll just see what we can do to make it the most fluid finish to the season rather than unusual and crazy like it's been. So congratulations to Jordan Walker on getting the job done here today at Twin Ring Motegi. Brian DeBlanc with a solid attempt to get the win there in the closing laps. They all foiled the finish there for Tom Cording. So after that, the points are probably going to bunch up a little bit again with some of the surprise finishes in the top 5 that we had. Tom Cording obviously not letting off the throttle, keeping his points tally growing in the right direction. So still 4 races to go. There's a lot that could happen. Tom Cording, Andre Stefan, all of them could get tangled up in a big wreck that loses them. They don't have much for mulligans left, so they're going to have to keep doing what they're doing and avoid making any mistakes to the finish of the season. So we'll be back at it next week on Tuesday, I believe. We'll have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as a full week of racing comes to close out the season. So thanks everyone for sticking it out. That was probably one of the harder races to watch. It was maybe not as hard as last night, but still up there with some of the cringe moments. So what I'm going to do when I close this stream out tonight, I'm going to eat dinner and I'm going to make the game test trial the next track on the schedule and make damn sure it doesn't have any funky glitches to say. So hopefully y'all have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. This is Jakester signing out.